Dear children, today we are going to deal with the last prose piece of class 12 syllabus, that is the 3 questions by Leo Tolstoy. Okay, so let us first get to know Leo Tolstoy as a writer. Leo Tolstoy is considered to be the greatest novelist of all time. From the early 1860s, Tolstoy toiled over his novel War and Peace. The novel was completed in 1869. Both readers and critics became overwhelmed when they read it. Following War and Peace, Tolstoy published Anna Karenina serially during 1873 to 1877. Now, Leo Tolstoy lets his characters grow and change. And his world is large and his characters have their own life. He makes us trust what he tells us through his storytelling. And his short stories are like the stories out of scriptures. Okay, girls? They have a very powerful moral lesson. As an artist, we can say that Leo Tolstoy had an intense passion for humanity. He believed that the aim of life is in the happiness of others. Okay. Now, the introduction of the story of 3 questions is that the story points out the basic reality of life. The questions of the Tsar helps us to understand the true meaning of our lives. There are some common universal moral values that humans should have, isn't it? All of us should have. And he captures the essence of a peaceful and meaningful life through his stories. Tolstoy stresses upon the importance of service to others. Being good to others can ensure our happiness, and it should be the pursuit of life. So the story, the 3 questions, takes the form of a parable, unburdened by unnecessary details. So let us go for the story itself, girls. The 3 questions by Leo Tolstoy. Now, one fine day, it occurred to a certain emperor that if he only knew the answers to 3 questions, he would never stray in any matter. Now, what were those 3 questions? The first one was, what is the best time to do anything? Who are the most important people to work with? Was his second question. And the third one was that, what is the most important thing to do at all times? So these 3 questions literally worried the emperor, and he really wanted to get answers of these 3 questions that was disturbing his mind constantly. So the emperor issued a decree throughout his kingdom announcing that whoever could answer the questions would receive a great reward. Many who read the decree made their way to the palace at once, each person with a different answer, girls. Okay. Now, in reply to the first question, one person advised that the emperor make up a thorough timetable consecrating every hour, day, month, and year for a certain task and then follow the schedule to the letter. Only then could he hope to do every task at the right time. Okay? So they advised him to make just a timetable for certain tasks and then follow it properly. Another person replied that it was impossible to plan in advance and that the emperor should put all vain amusements aside and remain attentive to everything in order to know what to do at what time. Again, someone else insisted that by himself the emperor will never be able to do the task. He could never have all the foresight and competence necessary to decide when to do each and every task. And what he really needed to as to set up a council of wise and then to act according to their advice, right? So they really advised him to set up a council of the wise people and then to act according to what they said. Someone else said that certain matters required immediate decision. It happens first in a state, in a kingdom, you need to give attention to certain things at that very moment and could not wait for consultation. But if he wanted to know in advance what was going to happen, he should consult magicians and soothsayers. The response to the second question also lacked accord. One person said that the emperor needed to place all his trust in the administrators. Another urged reliance on priests and monks, while others recommended physicians. Still others put their faith in warriors. And the third question drew similar variety of answers. Some said science was the most important pursuit. Others insisted on religion. Yet others claimed that the most important thing to run or get answers to his questions was military skill. The emperor was not at all satisfied by the advices and the answers that he got to his three questions. He was very much displeased. So, not being pleased, the emperor resolved to visit a hermit who lived up on the mountain and really was an enlightened one. And the emperor wished to find out the hermit to ask him his three very important questions. Though he knew the hermit was known to receive only the poor. Now this part is important. Listen to it very carefully, girls. The hermit was known to receive only the poor, refusing to have anything to do with persons of wealth and power. So he had no other option, but he was determined to meet him and get the answers of his three questions. So ultimately and finally, he planned out something. And he disguised himself as a simple peasant and ordered his attendants to wait for him at the foot of the mountain while he would alone go and visit the hermit. Okay, so the very first thing you have to remember here is, girls, the three important questions that really created a great turbulence or a great disturbance in the mind of the emperor. The first question was, what is the best time to do anything? And the second question, who are the most important people to work with? Okay. And the third one was that, what is the most important thing to do at all times? Now, Leo Tolstoy, girls, has written a story in which he had given three important questions. But don't you think that sometimes till date, we too ask ourselves these questions, isn't it, girls? The first thing, don't we ask ourselves sometimes when we get very confused that what is the best time to do anything? And whom should we trust and do work with? Who are the most important people in our lives to work with? With whom, when we are working, do we get fruitful results? And the third question too, girls, that too we sometimes think of, that what is the most important thing to do at all times? So if you think it properly, these questions do prick us at times and is very relevant to us in our lives too, even now, girls. Okay, now the thing is that the three questions by Leo Tolstoy, in this short story written by him, we can find the theme of wisdom, knowledge, awareness, kindness, forgiveness, and acceptance. Okay, girls, I repeat it once again. Wisdom, knowledge, awareness, kindness, forgiveness, and acceptance. Narrated in the third person by an unnamed narrator, the reader realizes after reading the story that Tolstoy may be exploring the theme of wisdom of others and how to better run his kingdom. Though he asks many different people to answer his three questions, it is only through his actions and the wisdom of the hermit that the king finally gets an answer to his question, isn't it? He had asked a number of wise people, learned people, to get answers to his questions. But later on, as the story unravels, girls, you will get to know that only through his actions, mark that word, girls, only through the emperor's actions and the wisdom of the hermit, that the king finally gets an answer to his three questions. Now, the fact that the king had to rely on the hermit may be important. Now, something Tolstoy wanted to show us, isn't it? A king ultimately goes and depends on an hermit to get his answers. So the fact that the king had to rely on the hermit may be important, as Tolstoy may be suggesting that those who previously attempted to answer the king's question, rather than being wise or learned, may be of no use to the king. Practically, they didn't have any wisdom. That showed it very clearly. Okay. And now that he has come across a dilemma that he needs an answer for, it is also interesting that the king had to disguise himself when meeting the hermit. He could have easily gone as the emperor, he was the emperor of the kingdom. But as the hermit had that condition that no, he won't be meeting any rich person, and so hellbent was the emperor to get answers to his questions that he finally decided, okay, fine, I'm going to disguise myself as a poor person, as a simple man, and then go and visit the hermit to get the answers to my questions. So it's very interesting that the king had to disguise himself when meeting the hermit. And Tolstoy may be suggesting that the hermit does not necessarily agree with the rich life that they lead. If anything, he may feel as though they suppress those who are financially weaker. So, till now, as we have gone through the story, not the whole of it, just 1/4 of the story, we get to know that Tolstoy had really tried to project a number of things through these very lines, girls. It's not just a simple story of an emperor just going and meeting the hermit and then getting his 3 answers. No, there is a very deep insight into the story, as we have already come to know that he makes his characters lively. There are some common universal moral values that he just projects through his stories. And slowly we'll get to know, girls, that how the hermit or gives him the answer, or how the king comes to know the answers to his 3 questions. Go through the story very well, and please go through the lines very well. I hope you'll find it interesting if you can relate to the notes given over here. So, girls, the 3 questions can thus be said is based on fairy tales or religious legends. Written in simple but expressive style, it is intended to convey his idea of ethical Christianity and expanded Buddhism. His idea refers to Tolstoy's idea of ethical Christianity and expanded Buddhism. Tolstoy himself tried to abide by his new beliefs, simplifying his life, living on his own labor, and giving up material possessions. A very difficult life indeed, but he truly tried to lead one like that. So we have just dealt with 1/4 of the whole story of 3 questions, and truly said, girls, that if you really go through the lines of the stories, you will feel how lively the characters are becoming as you just read about them. The hermit on one hand and the emperor on the other, who in his shifting from his comfort zone just moves out of his den to get answers from a simple person like a hermit. So go through the lines, girls, very well. Read the story again and again, and so that you get to know the relevance of what Tolstoy had really tried to convey through this part of the story. And I repeatedly say to go through it because it helps you when you answer your short questions. and your multiple choice questions. Sometimes we just think that, oh, this line is not important, but you might find that one itself in the question paper. So do not leave any line as unimportant from a Leo Tolstoy story. Okay, girls? So I hope that this note, along with the audio, will really give you a very fair storyline of the whole story. Thank you, girls, and please, again, I'm saying it once again, go through the story very well.